Welcome to your Magic Moon message. This is the Peace Dealer, Moon in Leo, Sun in Cancer, preparing you for Leo season where you will unlock unlimited sun roars. Roar! Directly towards the sun roar. Yeah, we are still in the midst of activating this new cycle and integration into this new world, this brave new world where your individual rights and liberties must be tested to adjust for new governing structure, yada, yada, yada. And as we have activated this new cycle of power, where the king of the gods of the solar system, this failed star, is activating this new cycle since 2014, coming out of 2013, I believe. The moon is now in Leo, like I mentioned before. So let's look at Cancer as this luxury cruise liner, right? Let's look at it as this new car, because Cancer in tarot is the chariot. It is the cardinal potency that builds momentum, as Cancer is integrative. It's not Aries that's the accelerator pad that you're stomping on. It's the actual locomotive function that keeps the car sustained in motion through your fuel of your feelings, your energy in motion. So let's say Leo is the solar paneled energizer. It doesn't have to be an electric car, but let's say it's a hybrid. And the moon in Leo is receptive, aka it is fueling up, it is energizing, it is charging. Because the moon is now within 30 to 60 degrees of the sun's transit with Jupiter, so it's also making this angle to Jupiter, which it also conjuncted. We are activating this new potency. Aries was the first power, Taurus was the first strength, energy, Gemini was the first magic. Now we're at the second magic, integrative magic. It is providing deeper understanding of course, not only our underlying motivations and roots, but psychic MFing power. This is actually going to be where we come into more dramatic and bold expressions and declarative expressions of supernatural phenomena that will continue to shatter and break the lens or the critical brain function of what you think is possible, especially as we go into Virgo and further analyze this. And the moon's going to do that first, help us understand what Mars is getting ready to shift for war or conflicts or actions. This activation cycle will carry us forward into 90 degrees when the moon is halfway through Libra. So you want to think that since we had the new moon, the first phase of this is sowing the seeds. When the moon goes into Virgo, we're going to now take the power we activated, the charge of this power, and through Leo, and then we're going to initially analyze how it is we've activated it. Meaning, the moon in Virgo is going to give you a detailed analytical understanding of the physiological change that occurs when you activate new psychic powers. You're going to start to really experience it. Okay, kind of like when you turn on an appliance, is the activations of this appliance, which is the evolution of your psychic body, your emotional body. Once a year firmware update. It's just this firmware update is coming with the hardware update. Okay, it's fucking rad. It's gonna see us through the next 12 to 14 years. And on top of that, once we start to analyze this, it's giving us social context so that when the moon's in Libra, we understand how to integrate the activation of this appliance, like using a Fitbit in public. It's like, okay, now how am I going to use this Fitbit in a way that I'm not bumping into people, but I still look stylish? Like, hey, I like your Fitbit. Yeah. Okay, I don't have Libra, so I don't care. I just look crazy. But for those of you who do, This is going to be good. And before we get to Virgo, we have to charge Leo. So let me just reiterate. This is a super mega activation of psychic power, the likes of which you've never experienced before. Pluto and Aquarius, the outer dynamics, the white noise, are bringing in cycles that haven't happened since the 1800s with Neptune Aries, and then the 1700s with Pluto Aquarius. So, this is quite literally World War II energy with Uranus and Gemini, or perspective, and then, Civil War smoke with Neptune and Aries. And then Revolutionary War energy, and French Revolutionary energy with Pluto and Aquarius. This does not have to mean World War, by the way. This could be economic warfare. It could be a culture war. It doesn't even have to be war. The energy is back. However it kind of expresses itself, we're currently unlocking that. But that supernatural quality with Pluto in Aquarius, right? And Uranus and Venus at the end of Taurus is preparing to brush into new dynamics, shifted dynamics that have things pushed forward very quickly. And now the moon and Mercury that are opposite Pluto and Aquarius are harvesting 2 weeks since the moon conjunction Aquarius, and then like 6 months since Mercury, it was like January, February, where Venus and Mercury had conjuncted Pluto. This is that first opposition to now really influence this boldness and this energy with this celestial astromancy, this celestial Aquarian energy, giving you the context of how humanity is awakening, but also how you're tapping into universal energy in order to supercharge your bold expression. So because you're activating this psychic power with Jupiter in Cancer, okay, the moon in Leo is having you understand how boldly you feel these feelings, how boldly and courageously you manifest the potency of this energy, or rather you manifest the strength of this power. Okay, so Cancer is the force in a direction, and the Leo moon is strengthening your direction in that force by activating more momentum. The stronger and the more passionate you push forward a feeling, the more it sustains itself. So if Leo is weak here, you're pushing forward a feeling, you're pushing forward an intention, you're moving in a direction, but you don't have the energy to keep moving forward. This is now, when you go into Virgo, not going to give you enough energy to fully analyze how you want to shift your behavior, all right, and activating this integration. But basically, the more audacious and dramatic you are, I'm going to give you an example. I'm sexy. I don't care what anybody says. I'm sexy AF. Okay, look at you. Do you see how hot I am? I'm taking this extra because when we deal with Leo energy, it's good to be extra. Every Leo friend exaggerates a story more than they have to. They know that there was just like 2 or 3 people that they were fighting, which was still impressive, but they had to let you know it was 8 people jumping them, because it just sounds so much more badass to squad wipe 8 people who were trying to jump you, even though you did fight like 2 or 3. All right, and you want to lend into this Leo embellishment because it will hype up your passion, sustain this bonfire, and that's what's going to manifest this power. And then you're going to express this power. You're going to start to learn in a very analytical, practical, and detailed way how to use this power. So this is like the main character, energetic, charging portion where you feel it coming stronger before it expresses itself. We're going to do this again in a week and a half when the moon is in Sagittarius, where now, after we understand how and learn how to use these abilities, we're going to see how to integrate our awareness of this in our lifestyle. Start spooking people like, oh, you were thinking of stealing my cheeseburger. How did you know? I seen you. You'll see. So the moon in Leo is trining Saturn and Neptune and Aries, and it's drawing forth this reimagination of yourself, and that cardinal square is still pressuring you to do something with your life. No, I'm joking. It's still pressuring you to stop trying to do something with your life and force what you've already activated. Remember, a lot of stuff that we're kicking forward, you already started 2021. 2021 up until now was not for nothing. So you're actively integrating and seeing it break through the ground. Mercury is going to retrograde, have you reevaluate a lot that you might have thought was nothing, or you are not aware has grown underground more than you thought. So this is going to revisit that. And of course, as the moon leaves Leo and will square Uranus and Venus, this is going to prepare for it to hit Mars and Virgo for a deeper analysis. But that square to Uranus is going to really influence, and I won't say cause or influence, but trigger unexpected quality that could lead anywhere from unexpected windfalls of income to a much more radical and eccentric acceptance of what makes you unique, so that you are not chasing quantity over quality, but can balance both or infuse both to the best of what it kind of brings for you. So now that I got the math out the way, your psychic powers are activating. You're going to be feeling a lot of weird shit with the Pluto opposition to the moon. And while you're feeling vibrationally jumped, use the courage from that to take your energetic penis. And this is especially important if you're a woman. You want to take your energetic penis and slap earth, wind, and fire out of any vibration, individual, social, or collective, that has the audacity to feel or think that you're less than you are. And this is where you need to get that audaciousness in. You know how Leo do. Like, Leo just walk in the room like everybody should know they're a Leo. And that's how you have to feel today. You have to feel like an emotional Cancer who's just very prideful in how much they have grown, and how, you know how Cancer will get their get back. You have to be like a 50 Cent who has been planning revenge on Diddy or Scorpio for like 12 years, and they're finally savoring. They're very close to this verdict, and that's really gonna get you in the mood. Okay, it's gonna really help you feel what you're doing this for, and this is going to influence what you are sowing. All right, once we get to like a half a week from now, we're gonna start to integrate this power. And this is going to be one of the first cycles where you're feeling these abstract transpersonal concepts. It's not like, just now that we're opposing Pluto and Aquarius, it's not like, you're, psychic powers. Okay. No, like, it's the real deal. Increased telepathy, increased telekinesis, and of course, the uniqueness of your abilities, what clairsenses you're going to be tapping into, will really, of course, begin to sprout. But outside of that, the Virgoan analysis of how to integrate a real perspective that's not lost in fantasy, that can translate for real, is currently happening right now. You're actively like bringing it into form, and this is where some really cool anime shit is going to happen throughout the rest of the week into the middle of next week, so that you activate this function and you begin training your consciousness to feel the expression of what it is that's budding from within you. This is going to prepare us for Leo season, where the power you're activating, you're going to take with you on stage, and you're going to perform it socially. You guys stay blessed as always. As the moon sneak peeks at right now, let people mischaracterize and judge you. Let people, throw shade or whatever. Just smack them in the face with your energetic dick. Just smack them in the face with your energetic penis. And that can be in the form of your confidence. You know what I'm saying? An unfuckwittable aura that, without having to actually even like go back and forth, you just smack them in the face with your energy dick. And I'll see you next week. Peace.